This is Good in the Hood podcast. Our conversation today is with Sean Morrison, the Executive Director of Good in the Hood and Senior Pastor of Cedar Crest Free Methodist Church. The values of any organization become the DNA of who they are and what they want to become. Sean talks about the value of participation in today's podcast.
Sean, we've been talking about core values, and core values, of course, is the underpinnings of what the organization is about. And you told me your three core values are?
Provision, participation, and partnerships.
Okay, we've talked about provision, but let's talk about participation. What does that exactly mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, participation is, if I were looking at it from a organization, Good in the Hood, I look at it and say, I'm trying to help people to discover their ultimate purpose. And they find that most often when it's the thing they engage with the most frequently. The thing that we identify with, we start to do. From a church perspective, being a pastor, I sometimes will use theological terms, but I like to say this: the things that I say, these are merely my theory. The things that I do, these are my theology, the things I actually implement in my life. And so when I think of participation, it's engagement. It's the mentoring is not only the heart and the head, but also the hand. I want people to actually apply those things that they believe in, those essential core values or those beliefs. I want them to be applied so that they become a sense of purpose, and it gives a person a sense of significance as well.
So your volunteers, when they come and they're participating in the overall program of Good in the Hood, what satisfaction do you think they get out of all that?
Well, I think they get a sense of ownership, a sense of belonging. I think they see their own personal growth and development. I mean, when somebody loves doing what they're doing and they feel like they're doing something that's meaningful, there is a deep sense of satisfaction. Most people I run into struggle at some point in their life with depression, and it's usually wrapped around a sense of no future. Maybe they feel meaningless or without purpose. They feel like what they're doing in life isn't helping make a difference. So with participation, we're trying to not create meaning for people, but affirm meaning, give them opportunity or occasion for significance, where it's something that they like doing, something that they feel is meaningful. And so that's really what participation does. And it not only does that, it helps them to grow as a person. They go from being often a recipient of our services to being one that is a volunteer to one who actually at times can become a leader. And when they are a leader, they bear responsibility. They make decisions, and they have to bear the weight of that. They may be mentoring someone else, so they're investing into another. There's nothing more powerful than when you invest in another, it causes you to have to step up in life at a new level.
How does belonging fit into this participation? Because so many people today don't feel they belong to anything. Mm-hmm. Is there a component here of belonging that matters?
Absolutely. Belonging it gives us roots. It gives us a sense of, in many ways, where we're coming from, but also then can help us to know where we're going. Because that belonging, you feel a part of something. And when I think of belonging, it's not just a part of something that's going nowhere, it's going somewhere. It's got a vision, it's got direction, and it's got significance. A group that has no significance, it's not going anywhere, it just becomes static, and it starts to, in a sense, become like a stagnant lake. I always think of it from that level, a lake versus a river. When water moves, water gets more powerful. There's a force associated with it, and there's a purification that's associated with it. And I look at that as a principle of life. When we move people in a certain direction, or they participate in something that they see is going somewhere, it gives them a sense of empowerment, and it helps to get rid of some of that, maybe we'll say oppression and depression of life, gives them a sense of joy and purpose.
Do you have a story of someone who has come and participated that were probably on the outside of life looking in, and somehow they have changed their perspective? Life has become a little bit more meaningful and significant. Are there stories like this? Maybe you could tell us one.
Well, and there's a gentleman that's a part of our team. This man, a few years ago, was on the streets. He's not only become a regular contributor, he's a daily volunteer for us now. I mean, he also has joined our church, which is very exciting. He's become a community member who's a contributor. We depend on him to take hold of responsibility. He helps out in so many ways, whether it be at our food shelf, our holiday programs, our shoe bus. In fact, he's, probably a couple times a week, he's involved with the shoe bus, going and helping with sales and customer service and some of those things. That's, to me, the real exciting part is they learn not only how to discover their own purpose, they learn how to engage people in a healthy manner with a future that's pretty flourishing and bright.
Helping others and changing lives is at the heart of Good in the Hood. If you'd like to know more about this value-driven organization, please visit goodinthehood.org.